the hearings were held at the court's premises, it will still be under significant security controls to ensure that only authorized persons have access to the place. So to describe Edu Lodge in the terms that her leadership, the Chief Justice, did, was most unfair and unjustifiable. It seeks to obscure the process and bring in unrelated matters that seek to cast some aspersion or ill motives on government for affording the committee a place to do its work. As I indicated, we have no interest in violating the Constitution by going into the merits of the case. And that is why government has refrained. Let me put it on record that government itself has had cause, indeed the president himself had cause, to lament the way in which some correspondence around this matter got into the media. You will recall that the very first sign of any leakage was the letter that the Chief Justice wrote requesting for copies of the petition. Before the letter got to the presidency, it was in the media. And you recall that in the president's response, in which he also took the opportunity to forward the petition to her, we raised that issue, that it was not acceptable. Indeed, we had cause, the president had cause then to ask his executive secretary to mark the documents that were being sent to the Chief Justice in order to guard against any leakage. So at no point has anybody leaked anything. Also, it must be noted that even the media houses that first broadcast the content of these petitions were media houses that you can say are aligned to your position. And they are the ones who have gone to town with this sort of thing. So to attempt to cast aspersions on the presidency is most unfortunate, and it causes what should be a smooth process leading to the determination of the merit or otherwise of the petitions that have been brought. So in summary, I would say that what has happened today is most regrettable. And as government, or as the president, President Mahama is committed to upholding the rule of law. We cannot have a situation where, depending on who is involved, the Constitution is set aside. All Ghanaians are equal before the law. In the same way that our courts have dealt with individuals in accordance to law, if members of the judiciary themselves are alleged to be engaged in some wrongdoing, the processes laid down and spelled out by the Constitution ought to be respected. And that is exactly what has happened. I thank you very much. If there are any questions that you have, you may ask them.
So,
yes.
The battle Chief Justice made reference to bail threats and much as your concern. Yes, we should equally worry about threats on the land. So what's government's response to specific issue about threats on the land?
The Chief Justice, more than anybody else, perhaps in this country, should be aware of the platform that is available to address such threats. Like if today somebody sends you a threat, you know exactly where to go to seek redress in the matter. And that is what I would say about it. Yes, Akosia. First of all, I'm not sure whether there are provisions covering this, whether there's a requirement for authenticity, as it were. There are also individuals. How do you authenticate the individuals? What matters is that they have raised issues. And the Chief Justice was given opportunity by the President of the Council of State to provide initial responses, which then form the basis of the determination of the prima facie. The President, in consultation with the Council of State, came to the conclusion that there was a basis to proceed further. The President there, in accordance with Article 1466, I believe, set up the committee as spelled out by the Constitution and gave them the petitions to look into. The processes have been ongoing for quite some time now. So as far as the president is concerned, every law, rule, or regulation or process that has to be adhered to has been respected. So I do not know how this particular matter in any way impinges on the integrity of the process that has gone on so far. But then again, the Chief Justice has had cause, at least on 5 occasions. The Chief Justice and others, I must indicate, have had cause at least on 5 occasions to go to the Supreme Court to seek redress in the matter. And on all occasions, the Supreme Court has upheld the process as is currently underway. And so that, for me, should resolve the issue beyond any reasonable doubt. Yes, Magnus. As I've been at pains to explain all evening, the president can only proceed on the basis of law. The law spells out what can and cannot be done. The Constitution does not set a timeline, and therefore the president cannot impose a timeline. Indeed, at this moment, the matter is entirely out of the hands of the president, insofar as it is seized with the committee. The president cannot direct the committee on anything that they should or should not do. So it is only they who can determine the processes that are laid down to undertake this particular activity. And as and when they finish and make recommendations as stipulated by the 1992 Constitution, the president is bound to act in the manner that they recommend. So I am not in a position to speak to any timeline, neither is the president. It is only the committee that can determine when sufficient time has been had to look into the matter.